Alright, so today I want to talk about time because I think it's something that I've really started to understand, like the value of. And I think if I'd have known earlier, I would have saved a lot of time. So what is time? Time is something that is constantly flowing. It's always going, always flowing, always going through, and involves energy. And it's it's simply an input of your energy over a set period of time. And so there's different ways that you can deliver that energy in thus time, right? So that's kind of what money is as well. Money is a trade of time and energy. So, when you buy, I don't know, food like out from a restaurant, you're paying for the labor, the energy, the time, and for it being quickly done. Same with like anything that you order online, you're paying for it to come quick, and it's being made for you and delivered for you. But yeah, that's money. That'd been useful to know earlier. But yeah, I mainly want to talk about time because it's the biggest asset that you have. As when you're broke, especially when you have no anything to your name, time is your most like valuable asset. Like I don't know who I think well I don't know who it was from, but the talk that I was at, Sahil Bloom, he said that we're all time billionaires. We just don't realize it, and it's very true. Obviously in seconds, right? But we have, especially at our ages, a lot of time, right? You look at someone like, I don't know, who's super wealthy and has no time, like Warren Buffett, right? He's got billions of dollars, right? He's like 90 something or something like that. He's just really old. Like, so would you want to swap lives with Warren Buffett? Would you want to have all that money and wealth but no time? No, right? So it's important to understand how you can manipulate time and control time so that you can use it as best as you can, right? So first off, you can't be using social media, man. Like, there's a saying, right? There's no such thing as a free lunch, right? And it's true. So when it comes to any kind of free service, especially software, you are the product, right? Every time you go on Instagram, Reels, TikTok, you are the product. Companies pay huge amounts of money to get your eyeballs on their products. I've known this it further by my dropshipping venture a few months ago. Well, yeah, but I barely looked into it, but it's all about who can throw the most like amount of money at ads, and that's how they all work. It's all about money, right? It's all about your attention and how your time is converted into dollars, right? So every time you go on a social media, you are wasting your time that you can never get back, right? Because time, once it's passed, is gone. It's never coming back. The money, everything else, that can all be regenerated. That can all be remade. But time, you can't just take out of nowhere and just spawn in, right? It's done. It's gone. So all of that time that you spend on social media or doing tasks before your real work that are not important are draining your time and your energy. So people don't realize this, but because it's such a low barrier of entry, just scrolling with your mind, scrolling on your phone, right? And there's other reasons why it's so addictive is because it's been meticulously designed so you stay on it for as long as possible to get as much so that advertisers get the most amount of money out of it. So, you're kind of like a gerbil or a hamster just on like one of them spinning wheels, just constantly fucking your time, all just for a little bit of gratification. In September 2022, I completely deleted Instagram for I think just under a year, around a year. Mainly because I just need to clear up myself. And it was great. It was a very, very peaceful time where I realized I had a lot more time on my hands, and I realized how damaging it had been. I've been rinsing social media since I was like 12. I used to consume huge amounts of TikTok, huge amounts of TikTok, and it literally influenced my behavior. Like, it's actually crazy. I'm like all like some of the stuff, like obviously I was a gaming back when in the day, so watching gaming like COD TikToks made me game more. And I even remember like there was like a side of TikTok that was like Juice WRLD, fuck girls, they're all the same type shit, kind of like, that was in like year 9. I was like 14, and like, oh, I started listening to Juice WRLD. It's like a lot of what you consume influences your behavior, right? And so it's just a clusterfuck of bad things that come with social media. I like, people will argue and say, oh, you can do it in a balanced way or actually learn things. Like, bro, tell me the last 10 TikToks or Reels that you watched. You can't do that. You literally can't. You don't actually remember what's going. You just get that tiny bit of dopamine that keeps you going on and on and on and on, right? So yeah, as I was saying, I deleted Instagram, and I realized how much time I had, and thanks to Hamza, I did something that he actually recommended me doing, and it was just staring at a wall. I literally took time back then just to stare at a wall and just think, because like, when you deep it, when have you ever not been kind of stimulated? When have you not just been, in the modern world especially, like when have you just been calm and resolute with nothing going on, right? Now, of course, you could say, I'm talking about time here and how important it is, but here's me wasting my time looking at a wall. But during that time I'm looking at a wall, I'm with my own mind, I'm one with myself, and I'm forcing the boredom to create new ideas. And that's when I came up with different ideas for what I was going to do in the future, basically. And it was great. But anyway, that was a bit of a side tangent. The main point is about time, right? There's a couple of goats in the industry, like Alex Hormozy and Naval Ravikant. They all speak about the importance of leverage and time, right? And so it's like, if you can control your time, you can control your future, your wealth, your everything. So literally, your day-to-day life should be meticulously designed so that you don't have any points and periods of nothing, right? Because that's when the bad things can creep in. The complacency of, oh fuck it, I'm just gonna watch this YouTube video, I'm just gonna watch Netflix, all of this kind of stuff. I'm guilty of this. Like, it's so easy to lapse into doing nothing productive when you haven't set out anything. Like, so as I said, I deleted Instagram for a year, and then I re-downloaded it, started using it properly September last year. Mainly because I realized the importance of Instagram in a producing sense, less so for consuming, obviously. And now the project I'm doing, it's heavily involved Instagram. So, but the key thing is I'm producing / using it to reach out to people. I'm not using it to consume content. And that's a cope that a lot of people will say, is that I just use it for messages. Bro, come on now. Are you actually doing that? Because I know for a fact that, at least for me, if I had the Instagram app, which I'm just gotten rid of it, I'm just going to use the web version. And I'll tell you why. The main reason is because the Reels is just so addicting, right? It's nuts. Like, it's exactly the same as TikTok. It's so addicting to see all these sorts of Reels. And don't get me wrong, the content I'm watching on the Reels is better than the, I don't know, depressing shit or gaming shit I was watching before. But it's still not productive. In fact, it's probably even worse, because I'm watching people with these successful lives or doing this kind of stuff, that motivational stuff, was pretty pointless, I think. Motivational videos on Instagram, I think, are pretty pointless, because you're watching them on Instagram, right? And if you've gone somewhere to physically someone telling you that, then yeah, but you're watching on Instagram, and more time, you don't actually step out and do something. So yeah, I just use the web version because you can't really use Reels on Safari. So I just do that, and I've had to realize that if you really want to like do well in something in particular, because you only have a limited amount of time, and if you control that time well, and you therefore invest a lot of energy into that one task, so it'll be really, really good. So I'm having to change up how many times I go to the gym, because it's too time consuming, in the sense that traveling there, traveling back. It's just it's given that I'm trying to do a lot of things. I'm trying to focus down on and getting priorities like right. So I'm reducing the amount of time to go into the gym. But instead of that, I will be working out at home as well. We're trying out this new type of workout, which is gonna be a bit more like, I don't know what they call it, like the kind of the boomer workouts where you like do a lot of high reps, high intensity, in like fast periods amounts of time, to like build strength for stuff. Because I want to get stronger for kickboxing, and I feel like I need to do that stuff more. That's what I've seen gets you a lot stronger. Anyways, but yeah, that's an example of something that I'm trying to do that's like reducing time and energy that's therefore wasted and dispersed, right? So I can fully lock in on things like my studies and other stuff that I'm working on. So yeah, time is really, really important, and it's something that you cannot buy back. Well, you technically can buy like amounts of it so that you save time, but you can never buy future time, if that makes sense. So yeah, just really, really understand that your time is super, super valuable. Like, especially as you get wealthier. Well, I'm not super wealthy, obviously, but like from what I see from a lot of these entrepreneurs, the more wealthy you get, the more strict you get with your time, in the way that you'll say no to a lot of things that you would previously have said yes to. So, you know, it's like people will say that I'm quite extreme in my views in the way that it's they're quite unbalanced, and it's like, well, it's just different priorities, right? Like the things that I want to do because I want to get a certain place, I want to get like a certain thing, right? And so I have to do things that are different, and I think just the way that I work is that I think you have to be extreme and can't be balanced, as most people say. Because it's like I'll never do the things that I'm dropping. So, you know, so let's think about socially, right? It's not like I'm going to completely ignore that forever. It's just for a certain amount of time I'm focusing on schoolwork or business, and then that stuff will come later. So like it's like I can focus on studies for the next 6 months, and only that, and then go out in the summer. Like I think it's better to live like that. At least that's just what I think is best, and that seems to be the case for a lot of people that have made it. So yeah, I just wanted to briefly talk about time and how you're getting harvested every single day when you're scrolling and doing other kind of pointless BS before you actually do your work. So even like my morning routine, like, I don't know, I feel like it might be a bit too much. I don't know. Because it's hard to prioritize everything, like health, mental health, mental health. It's hard. But I think if you just plan out, which is what I'm trying to do, if you just plan out everything, then it will go well. And as long as you just don't faff around. That's why I've got, like, I'm always wearing a watch. You'll never see me without a watch on my wrist, because it's like, always got to know what period of time I'm at. Like what is the time? It's really a great measure of whatever you're doing. Just have a clock in your face, as opposed to your phone, because that is just a clusterfuck to other bullshit that you'll consume on there. So yeah, I think I said what I wanted to say. Yeah, just stop wasting your time and realize the importance of it.